we had a problem with the lubrication to the headstock, and it took a bit of fixing, but the parts were serviced and reinstalled. This is the gearbox cover, and we'll should see oil coming around now. So we're running, you can see oil dripping. Not seeing much flow here. We'll watch for that. We're going here, we can hear here. I'll have to check this one. So in the gearbox, it's just dripping out the far end, and that's flicking enough oil around the gearbox to keep the whole thing happy. So I know oil gets this manifold. I can't see it flowing on this one. We'll take this to pieces, see what the story is. Alright, pipe off, nothing. Yeah, working our way back through. Right, come on, come on. That was healthy. Okay, so we've got oil through the manifold, and we've just got a little blockage somewhere in here. Okay, so little flow arrow there, says a half there. There's a reason why that's called a perfect pattern screwdriver, isn't there? Right, this is coming to pieces. There's a little filter, so we'll clean the filter, and there's a little orifice. There's a little delicate central passageway. There's a little rodding wire, so that's for a dentist's air turbine. I've broken out the fancy glasses. That's the tut filter, isn't it? And that's fine. I'll start with my favourite craft knife. I'm going to work round that collar. If I get stuck, I'm going to harvest a part off my donut. I'll persevere a bit because, you know, not everyone's got a spare machine, have they? So I'll see if I can sort it for you. So we've put an engineer's clamp on, and I'll put it in the vise so I'm more steady. No way. Blow me down, Charlie. So there's a little, the silver bit sits onto a little copper washer. Then in there's a springy spring. Got a teeny tiny spring. We've got a bit of stuff. And that is probably all it was. Rinse through all the parts and see if we can get that going again. More parts in there, 2 seconds. Little hook there, and that might look like a bradawl that I've walloped. Yeah, it is. Oh no, that doesn't want to come out. Try unscrewing it. Right, that's what you didn't want to do. I'm sorry about breaking that. It's stupid. I thought it was a spring. I thought it would lift out. That wasn't a spring. It was soldered in at the base. I'm going to blast this out, clean it right up, I'm going to run that hole through with a 0.38mm drill. I can feel that in my lips, and that is finer than a pin. Last springy bit I took out probably just slows the oil up a little bit. It might be part of the filter process. That little nozzle's on a bender. You can see it's on the bender. You can look at the angle of that drill, but anyway, never mind. Yeah, there's a little tip. These drills are blighters to come out. If you just tap the box holding a rare earth magnet, it'll come. Right, well, I've got an airflow going through there now. I can't see what this spring's doing so much. Right, well, what I'll do is I'll put it back together and just see what happens. Okay, so that's not really that's gone. Right, that not so much a spring, that was just solid in there. Right, I know I've twanged a piece out. I'll go and find it for you. Give me a minute. All right, well, we've retrieved that. It's not springy. It's not magnetic. I'm going to wind that back up. The very base part fitted nice on this little bit of drop. It's like a solder wire. It's not magnetic, but it's sort of gone back together a little bit. Right, I'm going to clean all those parts up. I'm going to put this in first. I'll come back. Well, I won't be right back. This is Dentist's triple spray. I've got it hooked up to brake fluid. I can also use cutting oil and DW40. Cutting oil is just DW40 paraffin and threading oil mixed up so I can squirt it into stuff. We can see pressure in the line. It's going to come down to here. Brake fluid. Scoosh it. Okay, so it's all clean, and we're going to reassemble. Filter. These nozzles are marked 3. This is oiling a bearing, this is oiling a bearing. So let's compare the two bearing oilers. Blip, 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 blip. Alright, so that's pretty slow, isn't it? So the one I've done is going way too fast. Okay, so here's a 1mm hole just on the side. See. So back pressure and oil's just squirting out the side. So new hole size now, 16th. That's great. Any back pressure, it's not going to squirt hard into the bearing and cause a problem. It's just going to come down the side and dribble down to the sump right at the bottom. Right, job done. Right. The tiny hole I made couldn't have made that much difference. So I took another 2 off the donor machine. I tried to blow through this again. I couldn't blow through it. I tried to rod through it again, and it sort of went in, but it didn't really want to go. And the springy thing, more delicate this time, didn't want to come. What we've actually got is a capillary tube that's wound into a coil that's soldered through this. So there's actually a tube in here. The spring that sits inside this tube should have had a little top hat sat on it. but it didn't. That's actually a two-piece construction. I'm going to put this back together. I've happened to have a random connector block. Don't ask me the thread. I'm no good on identifying pipe threads. We'll link it up. And we're going to put a pressure hose on and gently put some fluid through. Soften up the end. That just gives it a little flanged finish. And now we can put some air pressure through. Now that's a fine capillary. So here's the setup. Brake fluid as always. I haven't nipped all this up, but that's the cat's meow. Straight through the finest of capillary tubes you can imagine. You know what happens next. I'm going to put the guts in. Do the same again. In goes the tube. In goes the spring. On goes the top hat. Now you can see that. Oh, don't lose it. On goes the top hat. I'm going to tighten this down in a machine vise so it's real square, and then I'll do testing again. So let's squeeze this down. All right. Not crazy tight, but tight. Yeah, it's still coming out. Well, I'll be darned. Right. So that's the one we've disassembled and reassembled. Now I haven't disassembled the other one. I'm going to try it though. So this little fella has not been apart at all. Not getting anything through that one. I've just taken that hose off then. Try that for luck. Oh yeah. Yeah, do that again. Yeah, that's got it. So I just jet washed this one through, same routine. That's the one that was on the machine, the old machine. You can see it doesn't take much to block these. I'm going to leave the one I drilled on my machine, see how it goes, see if I get any leaks. It should be fine, I think. It's a decent dodge if you're stuck. You know which little bits you're looking for. Tip for the day, replace your oil with the correct grade. Motor oil just won't go through that. There's no way motor oil's going through that. I've just flushed that second pipe through. The reality here is if you've got gloopy oil in your system, drain it out, take these off down to the little filters on the manifold. You can flush the machine through, then you can service those filters, and then you know muck hasn't got up into these tiny capillary tubes. They're so, if they're smaller, then, well, they are, that's the diameter. I'm done, I'm gone. Thank you very much for watching that one.